Alright, people. Welcome to Unity Safe Mode, because apparently there are errors that we didn't fix last time. If you remember, we were in the middle of something. I actually don't remember either. We cut off kind of suddenly because my little brother came home and I didn't want to get annoyed. Okay. Looks like this line of code is the problem. Now let's go back and see if we'll stay in safe mode or if it'll work now. Behold, we have escaped the prison of safe mode. Okay, what were we doing? We were working on this thing right here. The existing object move. And we were in the middle of changing the script because the while loops are evil for some reason. So we were switching it to a update. Okay. What does that mean now? It looks like the way we were anticipating on making this work was making the object move to the position it was supposed to go to by just moving forward, which means we have to make it face the thing that we want it to move towards. So for now, instead of trying to make it kind of do this fancy thing that I was initially anticipating, we will just use the lookat function. So it'll just snap to the direction it's supposed to go, and then it'll go that direction. So object to move dot rotation equals lookat? I don't know. Maybe quaternion dot lookat, look rotation, and what are we supposed to put in here? Forward and upwards. So that means we now need a place to make it look towards. Let's see if we created a variable for that already. Survey says object to move, and we also want to transform obj move, we'll call it move to obj. Even though it's a transform, I like to call it object. Because that's just my brain being weird. Okay. Equals look rotation, and then obj to move, or move to obj dot position. Beautiful. And then down here, what we'll do is we don't want the thing to always be moving towards the thing that it's supposed to move towards. We want it to stop once it reaches it. So we shall say if parentheses obj to move dot position equals move to obj dot position. Then we want, why is it upset? Oh, we need two equal signs here. then we want is moving time to equal false. And I guess it would be cool to have some spells that would always be moving towards your target. So in that case, we would just need another bool here. So we'll add a comment if we ever decide to implement that. We will say forever or not tracing here. That's just a note for myself. Now, in each of these sections, the self, other, other self, 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 other, other, we have a while loop right here. And within this while loop, we want to get rid of the while loop. So instead, I'm just going to do this. For now, I'm just commenting it out because there might be information in here that I want to remember. First we have to do is we have to designate our object to move and our move to object. So we'll say temp object equals, or sorry, we have to put object to move equals temp object, and then temp dest is what we want, except, you know, we don't want it to be vector 3, we want to transform. So we'll say move to object is going to be, and then this right here, and we ignore the dot position. So Control C, Control V, voila. Move to object equals OT_TMS dot aura and body e test. And then, after we've designated those two things, I believe we just have to say is moving time is equal to true. Is moving time is equal to true. There. And just in case this messes up and does one of the other while loops, we will comment them all out. Okay, let's give it a try, Z. Oh, my mouse is breaking. Okay. Let's see if it breaks again. Well, at least it's doing something. What is this set to? 3? So that should be Okay. So the update method is working. But it just seems like the rotation thing isn't working. Strange indeed. What the heck? Did I accidentally click it twice or something? Target. Goodbye, Goodbye. He's ascending into heaven. All right. Let's see what we got missing. Object to move dot rotation equals quaternion. Look rotation. Let's make sure. I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing this piece of code right. So let's look up the look rotation. See what it looks like in context. Quaternion rotation equals quaternion dot look rotation. Relative position. Vector rotate up. Bah, humbug. Although this gives me a little bit of an idea looking at that. So, this doesn't have anything to do with what we're working on, but this whole time I've had my script set up so that my character can like go sideways and stuff. So let me give you an example. Change. Hey, come on, mouse. And let me rotate him some way. Oh, I can't rotate him. Okay, it just doesn't work when there's no target. What the heck? Okay, one sec. I'm switching my mouse. Mice? This one is not functioning right. Okay, we're back again. This time with hopefully a better mouse. Okay, here's the issue. So, my character, get me out of 2D mode, and give me my character. My character is designed to be rotatable, and not just on the y-axis. He's also rotatable on the z-axis and the x-axis, and the camera works the same. except for when he's targeting something. But me looking at the look rotation script gives me an idea. So really quick, I'm gonna move this guy up here, and I'm gonna put him on this boat, because I can rotate freely on the boat, because the boat is magic. And I'm gonna grab something I can target. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. I start controlling my ship. Ooh. Okay. And I tilt it sideways, and my camera stays facing up and down, but when I untarget, it's relative to my character. But I just realized what I can do is I can specify an upwards direction for the look rotation thing. So if I go into my test magic script and go to my targeting stuff section, somewhere I believe I have something that uses that look rotation thing. At least I thought I did. Ah! Look at. Okay. I understand now. We are using a look rotation, but over here, I'm using a look at. So, what is YC? So this kind of answers both questions. I don't know if I can do what I was going to do. I can. Okay. So we want to use the look at function instead of the look rotation function. So, let's see. Transform dot up. Okay. So now, I believe we have just solved both. Whoa! I go too fast. We have just solved both problems. I forget that I can't jump now. So when I target stuff and I control the ship, and when I go sideways on the ship, check that out. It takes into account which way is up for me. Beautiful. Alright, and we're going to go to our other thing, and we're going to kind of copy what we did here. We're going to use the... Hold on. it is in the update. Okay. We're going to replace this. And we're going to get rid of quaternion dot look rotation and the dot rotation and everything in between. We're going to go object to move, and then we're going to say dot look at, and then move to object dot position. Let's give that a try now. Of course, now we're on the boat. So, kind of won't work exactly right until we get off the boat. Okay, and now let's move away. And something didn't work. Okay. Magic might not be working because of the ship, because the ship does some weird stuff. Look at that. It goes, does something weird. Okay, it's doing something weird, but it's basically working. It probably is just, we can't make it equal this position exactly. So we might have to make an approximation. I think I had something in here that approximates stuff. Look, cam rotation. If magnitude minus temp. Okay. Here's what we want to do. Right here. See, this is why we don't delete stuff when it was already working in theory, even though it wasn't, but whatever. So what we would want to do is say if object to move dot position dot magnitude minus, and we're going to replace temp dest with move to object dot magnitude, except we need to include a position. Move to object dot position dot magnitude is less than or equal to 0.5 f is moving time is equal to false. And we can also say object to move dot position equals move to object dot position. So this will just snap it straight into the desired spot, and it won't do that weird glitchy back and forth thing. Okay, let's move our guy back down to the ground. I don't know if that's too high or not. Okay. Okay, and now... Oh, I accidentally clicked on something I wasn't supposed to. Oh, it did something already. Dang it, the spell activated when we weren't looking. Cringe. What the heck? It just automatically teleported there. What's going on here? Temp s2 string. Okay. Is this in the right section? Yes, self other. Okay. So clearly, we have an issue with our magnitude thing. So let's try shrinking this. 0.01f. Still does the same thing. Okay. For now, I want to see what we're actually getting when we subtract object to move dot position dot magnitude minus move to object dot position magnitude. Let's see what numbers it's actually spitting out. So let's make a test. Well, we can either debug it or we can make a test. I'll just debug it. So debug dot log, and we want object to move dot position dot magnitude hold on a second, I might have figured it out. What if we just get rid of the magnitude part? And then we can make a vector 3 right here. Or we can make one up here so that we can adjust it later if need be. We'll make it private, vector 3. Snap this. And let's go 0.01, 0.01. I don't know if this is exactly the right way. To make a new vector 3. Alright. Vector 3 snap this equals new vector 3.01f, and then repeat that 3 times. Or repeat it twice so you get 3. Okay. And let's go snap this. Oh, it's gonna be upset. Okay, so maybe we do need the magnitude thing. KC, let's comment that out. And let's just see what the magnitude things are spitting out. So obj dot position dot magnitude minus move to obj dot position dot magnitude. And I just realized we have to put that in an if statement. So copy or control X to cut that. And we'll go debug.log parentheses. And then we paste in that whole math equation. And then at the very end, we say dot toString. And it might be upset at us. So put the whole statement, obj.position dot magnitude minus the other one's magnitude, put all of that in another set of parentheses, and put the semicolon at the end. Hey, I remembered what that symbol was called. And now it should give us a million debugs of what the magnitude is as it slowly moves. So, target, and click. Okay, so it starts out in the negatives for some reason. So, and just to make sure, let's see if we do that from like the opposite side, like right over here, if it's still negative. It is positive now. Okay, so this is a pretty easy fix. All we have to do is in our if statement that we have commented out, uncomment it, so Control KU, copy that whole thingamajig that way you put in the debug, copy, and paste it in to replace what we just did. And we're going to say is less than or equal to, and we'll say 0.1f. Now, what we have to do is at the very beginning, I'll make it a little bit clearer, we put mathf.abs and then put that whole subtraction statement within that. So automatically this changes it to the absolute value, which is always a positive number. So we can comment out this debug. And let's give it a shot. Of penicillin, because it has tuberculosis. And if this works, once it reaches the target, it should stop moving and snap into place. Behold, gentlemen and ladies, we have succeeded at making magical projectiles. Now, all we gotta do is make it work for all of these other things. Cases, that's what they are. Let's shrink them down. So, self-other, I believe we just finished making that work. Yes. So now, we go to other self. What do we got going on here? I believe this would be kind of reverse. Let's see. Object to move is temp object. Okay, nope, it's actually basically the same. Let's see if it uses the same variables in both of them. It does. Okay, so all we have to do is copy this, these bottom 3 lines, and paste them right here. And I believe we just do that for all of the different cases. Right before the while loop. And other. Beautiful. Now, let us test each of these other cases. Okay, how do we want to test it? Let's look at these all in a nice, neat, condensed region list. We've already tested self-other, so now we want to test other-self. Okay, all we would need to do is go into our prefabs and basically set this to be the parent and this one to be the child of this guy right here. So, take this, put it right there. No, it didn't like that. So let's move this guy out. Make him a child of the base repeat. Make this also a child of the base repeat. And now we want body player to be a child of existing object move, and then existing object move to be the child of body other. And we're going to switch the numbers in each of these. So body player is a number 2, which is the right hand, I believe. So we'll set that to 3, and we'll set body other to 2. Okay, now we should just be able to do it. Now, if this spell works, we should steal the sword that is in that guy's hand. Okay, it didn't work. Well, at least it got into the right region. If otms.oranbody sl dot get child is not equal to null. And what's the error exactly? The error is transformed child out of bounds. Okay. Let's make sure element 2 is kind of actually what we think it is. Actually, I'm going to run another useless test. Oh. It did something. Okay, so it unchilded or unparented the object that we want to move. So, what does that mean? And then it didn't go anywhere. So, object to move is temp object. So we got to where temp object parent equals null. Let's do a test, because it looked like it stopped moving. Maybe it got confused. Let's do a debug right here. Debug.log, and we'll do it in all caps so that we can actually see it in our massive tide of debugs. Stopped moving. Okay. Okay, it stopped moving. Which means that it thinks that it is, you know, at the end. Which is strange. Because clearly it's not. Unless we accidentally set something incorrectly. Move to object position might be all messed up. So let's go see where we changed that in other self. Equals, right there. This. Okay, so it does look like we actually have to change some of the things. We can't just copy and paste. So this is supposed to be my TMS. Of course, what we could do is we could change this to be a transform and this to be an actual transform, and then we do this and we call it temp test, and then this would be copy and pastable, and we'd have to just change all of the others to transforms. So this would be a transform. Just have to delete the position. Oh. And the final one as well. And then let's also do it in the very top, just for symmetry, I guess? Symmetry is not the right word. And we'll also get rid of this annoying debug. And now we change this to be temp test. We can copy this and replace it in all of these. Of course, this one's already correct because we changed that one first, actually. And we have one more. Oh. And now it should be perfectly functional, and I'm going to get rid of this giant for each statement, or this giant wow thing, because it just bugs me. All right, let us give it another try. if it works, the sword of our other person should fly into our own hands. Bloop. And look at that. Of course, we probably set it to the wrong transform, which is why it keeps going to the center instead of our hand. But yeah, it is functional now. The only problem is, when we do this, we kind of get rid of an important, critical section of our magic script, because we get child 0, which actually gets the parent object, which is no bueno. So let's fix that really fast before I lose the motivation to mess with this script anymore. So let me show you kind of what I'm talking about in better detail. So, right hand aura. Let's get out of 2D mode. It's what's holding the sword. Okay, but when we when we add when we're doing this script, that's better. We take this transform out of the rest of the object, so it's no longer usable again by the spell, which we don't want to really do. So what do we want to do then? Okay, so I think what we're going to want to do is this seems like a smart idea, we just duplicate this guy and then do all the stuff with it, and then we delete everything that's a child of the original. That way we retain the first one and get all the good stuff from the second one. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, let's start up here. I have no idea how to duplicate. Oh, I remember. Oh, we can exit off of this. We can say game object and we'll call it temp dupe equals instantiate and then we'll say temp object dot game object. Actually, I'm gonna check to make sure really fast that we can't instantiate a transform. Okay. It looks like we can instantiate just a transform. So temp dupe equals instantiate temp obj, and we need a position at temp obj dot position and temp obj dot rotation. And this we want to be temp dupe instead of temp obj, and we don't need the temp object dot parent equals null because we just duplicated a copy. And let's make sure that it's at the same scale. Temp obj dot scale. Actually, let's ignore that for now, because I don't think it'll make a difference. It should just duplicate it how it is. Anyway. Well, yeah, we do want scale. So temp obj dot scale. The scale of the transform relative to the game object's parents. What's this one? The global scale of the object. That is what we want. Oh, but we can't. We can't do that. Anyway, this will be fine, I suspect, for now at least. So down here, back to the temp obj.parent equals null. We don't need that. We are wanting this to be gone. And instead, we want to delete all of the children that are a child of temp obj. So we'll say for each parentheses transform t in, and we'll use temp obj again. And then we'll say if parentheses t is not equal to temp obj, then we're going to destroy t, and I believe we have to use a game object here. Okay. So what does that mean? That means we have a couple things to change. Let's put all the things we want to change at the bottom. So that we can easily copy and paste it. And I believe we should just be able to straight up copy and paste. We don't need to change anything else because everything, the temp obj and the temp dest, are already controlled by these things. So all we need to do is delete everything here and paste in what we made up there. Making sure to get rid of the parenting thing. Alright, once that's done, we want to give it a good old test. Reaches us, and as you can see, we're not getting errors anymore. But if we go into the scene view, you will see that we have a bunch of empty objects that are flying towards us currently. Or a bunch of duplicate objects? Yeah, empty objects. Because there's nothing like... Let's wait for a new one. Because there's nothing in get child 0. And the reason why this is happening over and over is because we have the circle going right here, which means it repeats whatever spell we have. All right. So, I declare this script officially basically done. Which means I think that'll be good for this video. Adios.